So you say you went straight into open age football then. So how did you then progress from? I guess were you in the sort of Yorkshire Counties League before you then? How did you sort of progress up towards the National League and the EFL?
Yeah, so I obviously start as level 7 as a referee and work your way up to level 1 or level 0, I suppose, is the FIFA list. Those first few years, I didn't know anything about having, careers as referees. I really didn't. I still wanted to play. So it was never a consideration. I enjoyed the money side of it. I won't lie. I think that's a great incentive for any young referee. But I really enjoyed going out there and refereeing, and I like communicating with people. I like chatting with new people. Um, so I actually spent a couple of years at level 7, within grassroots, and level 6. And in those 2 or 3 years, I was refereeing 120, 130 games a season. Now, I see young referees now who are refereeing 20 to 30 games and wanting promotion, and then 20 to 30 games the next season and wanting promotion. By the time they get to semi-professional football, they've refereed 80 games, and that's not good enough experience if you're going to be able to succeed at that level. So I was doing 5 games a week, and I was refereeing Saturday morning for my school team, or one of the school team, the younger ones. Saturday afternoon, the Wakefield League. Sunday morning, the Wakefield Sunday League, and then 2 Ossett Town junior games on an afternoon. And every game there, you're learning from something. So I've progressed. I got a double jump actually from level 6 to 4. And in that first season at level 4, I finished second on the list. Finished second to Andrew Madley from Ossett, which is that hurts a little bit. And again, you need a little bit of luck as well, Matt. You do need some luck. And that season, they had restructured a little bit at level 3. And they took 2 off our league, off the West Yorkshire League. And they never did that. They only ever took 1. Had they have only taken 1 that season, I wouldn't have been promoted. So because they took 2, again, a little bit of luck, I just happened to be promoted in my first season with Andy in his first season as well to level 3. Probably the best thing that happened to me at level 4 actually is the second game. Because I'd gone in, the danger is you start believing as a young referee when people are saying, "Oh, you'll be a Premier League referee, you'll be a FIFA referee."
Yeah.
You start believing that. It's quite a dangerous thing. Now, the competition nowadays is actually far higher than it was, when I was 17, 18. Because people see a career in it now. They see an easy path to get there, which wasn't so clear when I was at that age. But the second game at level 4, I got absolutely torn to pieces by the assessor. I actually thought I'd refereed well, but he tore me to bits. And I don't know what mark he gave because we didn't see the marks then, but it can't have been a good one. But I learned a lot from that. I learned to be able to take a step back and look at myself rather than looking at the assessor. I do think it was a little unfair, but, I was able to try and analyse myself, my own performance. And what it did do is it made me think that my season was finished. So rather than refereeing that whole season with this pressure on myself of I want to be a level 3, I didn't think it was possible. So I just went out and enjoyed it and thought, let's just gain experience at this level, get promoted next season if I can. And just because I didn't put that pressure on myself week in, week out and just went out to enjoy it, probably ended up getting higher marks than I would have if I'd have been piling pressure on myself. So, yeah, so level 4 to 3, quick progression, I suppose. I had a couple of seasons at level 3, 2 seasons there. Went to level 2, which then was just the conference. Conference North at that time was still level 3. There wasn't a 2A, 2B. 2 seasons on the conference and then on the Football League. So it was a pretty rapid promotion bit. But again, there's a little bit of luck along the way as well. So, yeah, it was a good one, but I think I had enough games that helped. Those games at 7 and 6, 500 games at those levels before getting to level 4 definitely helped, sort of in terms of my own progression as a ref.
Did you do, obviously you were refereeing the Premier League, did you do a lot of, or any assistant work? How much what did you prefer doing that? Or was it always you wanted to be a referee and that was what you wanted?
Again, at that time we didn't have the option of you were either a referee or an assistant referee. You refereed and then you're an assistant referee at the level above. And obviously once you get to level 3, then that opens up every level. And I was an okay assistant referee, to be fair. I enjoyed it, but I didn't enjoy it as much as refereeing. So, yeah, I'd got on to the Football League. I got promoted to Football League at Christmas. Obviously did half a season then, which went well. At the end of the next season, I got promoted to the select group of assistant referees. So I was promoted to the Premier League assistant referee list. I was 23 at the time, so again that was pretty young and pretty quick. And I remember, I think that really helped in my refereeing. I don't know how it'll work now actually, because there are guys who will be promoted now onto the Football League referee list who have never actually been involved in the Football League, other than maybe as fourth officials. And I know that working with real quality refs in the Football League helped me as a ref, because I was able to listen to them on the microphones, how they manage players, watch how they manage, good professionals. And then that one season in the Premier League, my first game was Hull City against Wigan Athletic. Mark Clattenburg was the referee. So to work with people like Mark, Howard Webb, Martin Atkinson, Michael Oliver, Mike Dean, week in, week out as an assistant, and then go and referee my own games as well on the conference, really helped me develop as a referee. So, so I only had one season. At the end of that season, I basically had a choice to make. I refereed really well on the conference. I think I was second on there at the time. And I had a choice. Do you want to go for an interview with no guarantees at all to go onto the Football League list as a ref, at which point I would have to stop being an assistant referee on the Premier League. Or you can stay on the assistant referees list on the Premier League, stay as a ref on the conference, and then there's a potential then obviously to move on to the FIFA list of assistant referees. So my choice at that stage, mate, was do you want to run the line at Barcelona, or do you want to stop doing that and referee at, Macclesfield and Grimsby and Lincoln and top places that I love going to, but it's whether you wanted that glamour of 100,000 people on a Champions League game, or do you want a cold Tuesday night at Mac with 1,200 people, And I loved reffing, and there was one game that season that just answered that for me. I loved the Premier League, don't get me wrong. And like I said, I was all right. I was a decent assistant. But I went and reffed Luton against Oxford on a Tuesday night down at Kenilworth Road. Packed house. It was first against second or first against third, quite late in the season. I think Oxford scored, and then Luton scored 2 goals in injury time to win the game 2-1. Carnage, riot police and everything. It's mental. And I just knew. I knew walking off from that game, I thought, this is what I want to do. If the manager's coming to knock the door down at the end of the game, I want it to be my door. I don't want to have to sit there as an assistant, and I want to be the one who leads this team. And that choice I made at the end of the season was, I want to ref. I back myself. I'm 24. I back myself as a referee. So, and it was a good decision, I think. It worked out all right in the end.